Hi there, my name's Rob. I'm one of the ministers here at Andover Baptist Church, and as a church leader, I have to be really careful how I live my life in order that I don't bring the name of Jesus or the name of his church into disrepute. But that's not just my responsibility, that's the responsibility of everyone who calls themselves a Christian. We are ambassadors for Christ wherever we go. Maybe one of the things that makes it hard for Christians to decide how to act at Halloween is how your choices will be perceived by others. That's an important consideration. However, there's also a great danger in thinking that Halloween is a particularly important time to appear pious or holy. Every day of our lives, we live in full view of someone, and Halloween is just one of those days. I've met Christians who are really concerned about whether they ought to let their children participate in Halloween, but don't seem to apply that same concern to how they teach their children to live every other day of the year. I've met Christians who are strongly against any celebration of Halloween, but aren't all that picky about the tone or the words that they use when they disagree with other Christians. That can be a problem. That's hypocrisy, and we're all guilty of it from time to time. Halloween is just one day. When we see jack-o'-lanterns or monsters, we should be reminded that God's will for us is to be light in the darkness, doing good and resisting evil every day of the year, not just at Halloween. Paul, one of the earliest followers of Jesus and a significant leader of the New Testament church, wrote to Christians in the city of Ephesus in a letter in which he stressed the importance of living for Jesus every single day. The logic behind his argument is really quite simple. He says, "For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Now live as children of light." He then goes on to specify what he means by that, saying, "For the fruit of light consists of all goodness, righteousness, and truth." And then he stresses the life we're to avoid, saying, "Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them." That's what light does to darkness. It exposes what's hidden in the shadows. It makes no sense for Christians to be children of light and yet have areas of their lives where instead of exposing darkness, they're living in it and hiding elements of their lifestyle from public view because they know that what they're doing is shameful. The Christian church has been hit by far too many scandals in which people who appeared to be living a pious life were secretly involved in evil practices. To some people, you might appear very serious as a Christian if you abstain from celebrating Halloween on religious grounds. But my question is whether or not that sort of public display of piety is actually reflected in the way that you live the rest of your life, particularly in private when you know nobody is watching you. Equally, you might decide to celebrate the goodness of God this Halloween, but then you live the rest of your week as if he isn't there. Neither of these examples makes any sense. Halloween is a great opportunity to reflect on how we are living in this dark world, not for a single day of the year, but every day. Are we living as a child of the light? Are we exposing darkness by our contrasting presence? Or can people not tell the difference between us and those who choose to regularly participate in the fruitless deeds of darkness? Halloween is an opportunity to reflect on those questions. Are your jokes as coarse as your work colleagues? Or your sentences as littered with profanity as those who make no attempt to be holy or to set themselves apart for God? Are your habits consistent with the lifestyle that Jesus lived? Or are you just religious, going through the motions of faith without experiencing its true power to set you free from your shadow self? My prayer for you this week is that that question would lead to visible change in your life. This week we've been exploring the question, is it okay for Christians to celebrate Halloween? And I hope that's been useful for you with the 31st of October coming up. However, I don't want to leave you with the impression that these things that we've discussed together are meant to guide you for a single day of the year. Christianity isn't a series of rituals. It's a lifestyle and a commitment to walking in the light daily. My prayer for you today is that you will ask God to lead you to live as a child of the light, today and every day, a shining example of hope and goodness in our dark world. As always, you'll find a link below to a worship song that I've chosen for us to reflect on this morning, and I hope you really enjoy it. I'm really grateful you've joined me for these daily devotions, and if you missed any of them, please go back on our YouTube channel and check them out. They've been there every day this week. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.